According to the Sun Local News by Khalif Zuhair, Malaysia's minimum wage ranked 59 out of 67 countries in a recent study, continues to spark debates among policymakers, businesses and workers. At 1,323 ringgit per month, many argue that the wage falls short of meeting the cost of living, especially in urban areas. The question is, how does this impact the daily life of workers? Now, we will continue by interviewing one worker.
So, Ms. Irsa, as a worker in the manufacturing sector, can you share how the current minimum wage affects your daily life?
Oh yes, with 1,323 ringgit, I struggle to pay for rent, groceries, bill, and basic necessities like housing. This cost particularly high in cities like Kuala Lumpur.
For employers, low minimum wage limit their purchasing power and ability to meet basic living expenses, especially when living in cities. If the organization is able to increase worker salaries, will this solve the problem? Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Afzal Nizam bin Abdul Rashid said adjusting the minimum wage requires a multifaceted approach. There needs to be a balance between ensuring employees can afford to pay for their living costs and rising expenses, and simultaneously making sure businesses can manage their overhead costs and payroll. On the other side, businesses, especially small and medium-sized enterprises (SMEs), are also grappling with their own challenges. What are the challenges they are facing in order to increase the wages?
We continue by interviewing SME owner.
How about you, Madam Lina? You own a small business. What challenges do you face with increasing wages?
Raising the minimum wage means higher cost for us. We understand that we need to support workers, but for SMEs, this could mean laying off the staff or increasing price. Perhaps balancing wages with business overhead can be difficult, especially for smaller companies like us.
Small and medium-sized enterprises (SMEs), which form the backbone of Malaysia's economy, are particularly concerned about the financial burden of wage hikes. However, economists mention that frequent and well-planned wage adjustments are essential, but must consider overall economic factors like inflation. Economists also urge careful consideration of inflation and cost of living adjustment when revising wage policies. By the way, Malaysia has also been engaging with neighboring countries like Indonesia and Thailand to find balanced solutions regarding wage issues while ensuring regional competitiveness. The debate continues, and stakeholders are calling for a wage adjustment that reflects both worker needs and business sustainability. Hence, as Malaysia continues to grapple with wage issues, both employees and employers must adapt to the changing economic landscape. Therefore, collaborative effort between policymakers, employees, and workers are key to achieving sustainable wage reforms. We will continue by interviewing one worker.
How do you feel about your current skill related to your job and position in the company you work in?
Even though in the company did provide for an upskill seminar and such, we do feel that we are still lacking in some aspect and would require more to do better.
Do you agree that other than the wages itself, it is important for employees to upgrade their skill set and other benefits?
Yes, it is important for us to constantly upgrade our work skill and not continuously stay in the same place after years for work experience. It would be very helpful for us to tackle our job problems better.
To address the skills gap, businesses are investing in their present staff by upskilling and raising wages, focusing on the components they can most readily control, which is an important way to respond to periods of uncertainty.
On top of that, it is important for the company to support workers' physical and emotional well-being, which is crucial in the light of the global mental health epidemic. So, it is promising that the employer's rank well-being support as the third most likely approach for firms to overcome skill and labor shortage. So, however, in absolute term, the number is low. Only 29% of respondents report receiving this support. So Given the breadth of mental health difficulties that employers confront, these studies show that business could do a lot more to assist workers' well-being, especially that increase in tax, inflation, and living costs that are constantly increasing have been quite a burden to care for some workers as their current wages are unable to support this cost. Unfortunately, in order to pay for this cost and living comfortably, this employer have to work on a side job, whether a driver, delivery foods, and such. This side job could impact heavily on the workers as they are more likely not to getting enough rest and prone to accidents on the road.
We'll continue by interviewing one worker.
How do you think your work has impacted your mental health?
There are days where the responsibility of my job have heavily impacted me in some ways. It might have changed my perspective of this job.
Do you think it is important for your company to provide healthcare in regards to mental health?
Yes, it is absolutely important for employees to take care of their mental health in order to do well in their job.
When we ask about how these workers would be the most efficient workplace or environment, a significant number of 67% agree that they work better remotely, which is higher than globally, which is 54%. So, a poll conducted by PwC questioned that employers on how they would like to work for the next 12 months. 63% of them comment that they would like to mix a remote and a person work. So indeed, the flexibility of work will have to impact on the employers other than the wages itself.